Guarantee this person don't got no reviews. If this person don't got no reviews, what y'all want to bet? Somebody type in the chat what you want to bet. What you want to bet? Push-ups, sit-ups. What you want to bet? Somebody put, who wants to bet me that this page has no reviews? I'm going to read out the description. iPhone 15 Plus 128. Charging cord and original paperwork, Boost mobile phone. So it is carry a lock, but there's plenty of ways to unlock it. Get links, very inexpensive to have it unlocked. Nobody want to bet. I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad because I didn't read the description before I didn't said it because I was thinking it was something else, but it really ain't what I thought it was. But let's deep dive into this, right? I know what this person's doing. So this person has this device on EIP, of course. It definitely isn't new. I don't believe that it's new. I don't. It's definitely not new, and I knew that. You could tell by this. Like, it's not new. This device was taken out. And how did I know this device was taken out before looking at the picture? It's Boost Mobile, okay? And that's sort of kind of, and it ain't nothing wrong with no Boost now, but it's sort of kind of, I look at it like it's being prepaid, right? And 9 times out of 10, these customers usually get these devices from these prepaid companies to sell, all right? And they often use them for a bit. And again, Boost Mobile isn't Verizon, AT&T, or anything like that, but they have okay service. Boost was just brought out as well, like a year ago. And it's just, this is just a typical play. This will be blacklisted probably. So when I see somebody say it's carrier locked, but there's plenty of ways to get it unlocked, I automatically assume this has an 80% chance of being blacklisted, and we don't want to get our things blacklisted. That's going to impact you. It's going to make it hard for you to sell it, okay? Because then it can't be used on the carrier. And plus, who used Boost Mobile? Raise your hand if you use Boost Mobile. Raise your hand if you use Boost Mobile. I know you don't use Boost Mobile, but if you do use Boost Mobile, you're one of the rare, and that's okay. All right, that's okay. But what I would say is I probably would offer, because all of the negative things I said, they actually make it more worth it, if that makes sense. Because I did say a lot of negatives, but it's a lot of positives in the negatives. If I know for a fact that this might go blacklisted, that's $100 deduction. If I know that this is locked to Boost Mobile, that's $100 deduction. We're at $350 right now. Also, I do see it's a box, so that's good. Okay, there's no deduction, but I don't even see the phone inside the box, because guess what? I guarantee you the phone doesn't even have the plastic. I can do $275. That's it. That's it. Now, where did I come up with the $275? Because this is what I would do. All right, I'm gonna pull out the calci right now. I wouldn't use the buyer's price list for this. You don't use the buyer's price list for everything, okay? And yes, the buyer's price list right here is something to help you gauge what to offer. Okay, it's not just, oh, just sell every phone you have to a buyer. Every phone you get does not. Every phone you get isn't going to make sense for you to sell to a buyer. It will always make sense to the buyer, right? But for you, you don't always want to use the price list, because the price list sometimes is going to eat your pockets when you can really be smooth with this right here. I would say $250, hoping that he go to $300. Okay, if he go to $300, that means I got an iPhone 15 Plus, which is a horrible device. Any Plus series, okay, is horrible. Any Plus series is horrible, okay, selling wise, all right? So if you go to $300, I know for a fact I got a crappy phone on my hands. I just put $300 in. I need to get it off my hands, right? But I do know also I have a box, okay? I would tear this part off so it don't look all crusty and dusty. If I do open a phone when I meet this guy and it doesn't have a plastic, that's no problem, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sell this for $400 flat. I'm going to sell it for $400 flat. I'm not looking for $550, $500. Somebody that has Boost Mobile that is stuck with one of them old Android phones, they can easily Just pay that $400, get the iPhone 15 Plus, take the eSIM off, and put theirs on. Okay, I'm not going through the hassle of trying to sell this or get this unlocked. Those individuals out there that take the time out to try and get devices they buy unlocked, yes, you may make money in the long run, but you're still wasting time. That's like me buying a clunker, a car that barely drives, and then taking it to the shop, trying to get it fixed. Yes, I'm going to make more money, but I'm putting my time into going back and forth to the garage. It's all about preference. I'm not saying either way is wrong, but me, I work smarter, not harder. I'm the type of person that I want to make sure that all my ducks are on the road so I can just shoot them down. I don't want to have to put BB bullets or whatever you call them things, or them little balls that them kids be shooting that be colored, them gel balls and all that. I don't want to have to put them in the gun. I'd rather just buy it when it's in the thing, so then I can just go boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's how I am. So I'm gonna say I could do 275, and I'm gonna say, does the device still have the plastic on the screen? Okay, now I'm not looking for a lot of offer up messages right now because it's not how it works. I want to just prime myself for this week. So that means I want to get it started. I want people to start seeing my offers so that they will then throughout the week be responding. Think about it. Everybody want to go on vacation. Everybody want to do X, Y, and Z this summer. They need the bread, okay? And we're going to give them the money, and they're going to give us the phones. Let's see an iPhone 14 Plus. Why do you think all these Plus are selling? Why are people selling all of these Plus models? Because nobody wants them. Nobody wants them. But I got a question. Why is this 600? Okay. That's 600. Why is this 700? What's the difference? Unlocked, midnight, only have for about 2 weeks. Whenever I see a time frame, I know for a fact this is a person that has a 90% the blacklist. And also, when I see a receipt in my hand from Best Buy, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Why am I done? Because think about it. If you want to sell me a phone, okay, that's cool. But if you want to sell me a phone and you're talking about, I got the receipt, my main question to people I meet that make these dumb posts that say, yeah, I got the receipt in hand, I say, yo, broski, you got the receipt in hand. Why don't you just take it back to the store? Why don't you just get a refund? And they always got some crappy excuse. Because, guys, you can fake the receipts, that's number one. Or number two, you can have had this activated, it got locked, and now you're like, dang. Or you brought this phone from somebody that used a credit card. Now, let me explain. Because y'all know I'm tapped into the streets. I'm tapped into these streets. Okay? And I'm a hustler at the end of the day. So I already know. Okay? You will have more story times. I have so much content to come. Y'all, I've been watching YouTube videos, and these videos are like when people, they'll go to the bank and somebody sent them in the bank and they said they'll flip their money, and then the people go into the bank to try and take the money out, and they get caught by the cops, or the people that do the ATM fraud, right? So now what these scammers are trying to do, because I'm going to keep it a stat. Phone flipping, you're dealing with a lot of scammers. That's what it is. You're dealing with a lot of scammers. There's no way that you're flipping phones and you really being profitable and you ain't dealing with a few scammers. There's no way. There's no way. And like, that's how I know 90% of these YouTubers that be talking about phone flipping be bull crapping. And I'm not going to lie. The reason I stopped making so many phone flipping videos is because all of the freaking people that's lying and faking are the ones that actually people are watching, because people like to watch fake crap. They like to watch the fake crap. They don't like to watch the real nitty gritty. They like to watch the fake crap. That's just what they like, right? And it's irritating. Because if you only knew how much it took to really make money with phone flipping, how many times you got to go in the trenches to get phones, how many times you got to be put in awkward situations telling people, hey, I can't do this because it's not enough. It doesn't make sense for me. How many times you hear, what the heck? Call of Duty trying to start. How many times you have people actually telling you and breaking down to you how they get the phone? I ask people, yo, bro, how you get this on, bro? Like, I become cool with you. And then when I become cool with you, I learn how you get the phones. And a lot of these people, they're doing these Best Buy scams where what they're doing is they're getting Best Buy gift cards by using somebody else's credit card. They have people in Florida that go and swipe and do all of that other stuff that is going to get them locked up and put them in the cell for the rest of their lives because they don't want to go out and just try to make bread and try to hustle the right way. Okay. But all of this stuff that they do, I don't deal with people like this. Okay. There has been people that wanted to sell me phones and I asked them, yo, how you get this joint? They're like, oh, don't worry about it. So I buy it. And then like they get like 5 more because they always get excited once you just cash them out. When you cash them out, when you like, let's say I was to deal with this person and I cash this person out, right? And I give them the bread. So let's say, what's up, Dan? I got you 1 second. I'm grinding, Dan. I'm in my mode. So let me just finish the story and I got you. So person comes with a phone sealed. Phone sealed, everything good. Boom. They take 500 when the phone is worth 850. Right? Boom. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like, but then I start wondering, I'm like, yo, how you get this joint? Like, you gotta connect. That's how I always position. I'll be like, you gotta connect just to try and see if they like if they want to teach me how to do it or whatever. You gotta connect, and then they'll be like, nah. Or they'll be like, yeah, I do. So then if they say yeah, they do, and then they start explaining to me, like this person explained to me, yeah, like what happens is I go and I get a card, and then I go on Best Buy because you gotta go on bestbuy.com, and then you got to use the card, and then you just refund the phone. You get the phone refunded, then you get the gift card, and then you use the gift card to get another phone. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I'm good. They never hear from me again. Why? Because they're going to bring you a lot of phones. You're going to get a lot of money. But what I've learned was as the phones come in, some of them are going to be like phones that get flagged. It's just too much, right? And it is not worth it. Do you have sellers that you feel like we're stealing or getting them in a bad way? Absolutely. I got about 30 of them right now that I feel like are getting it the wrong way. Dan, and can that get you in trouble as well? Great question, Dan. So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know, but phone flipping isn't illegal. But phone flipping isn't a title. It's not like a job, right? It's not like put it this way. Some of the phones that you get are on other people's accounts. Right, Dan? So, like, prime example, Dan, these phones that they're saying are carrier locked, they're carrier locked on somebody's account. You know what I mean? And if you have a device that is locked to somebody else's account, but you take it and sell it, that could be frowned upon if I'm looking at it in that way, right? But what I had to understand was T-Mobile do it, AT&T do it, Dan. Xfinity do it, Dan. Verizon does it, Dan. And what I mean by that, if I was to go right now to T-Mobile and I want to trade in phones, I can trade in the phones from my other carrier, right or wrong, right? And they'll give me credit. They won't give me cash, but they'll give me credit, or they'll give me another phone, that carrier, right? So if I'm coming from Verizon, I can go to T-Mobile with my Verizon phones, give my Verizon phones to T-Mobile. T-Mobile will then say, oh, iPhone 15 on us, or T-Mobile will say, you get an $800 Visa gift card, right? What I had to understand was we are in a position to where it's okay if they do it, but when we do it, we got to look like, is this right? You know what I mean? So, Dan, it's not anything that will get you in trouble. if you buy a phone from a scammer, you're not going to get in trouble if you don't know that it's a scam. But I think what happened with me was consciously, I started to think like, dang, like you're giving me all of these phones, and I'm starting to lose track on if they're being gotten in a wrong manner. Like now I'm like, okay, you do the gift card thing, and then you do your little thing with the thing and the thing. All right, cool. But then now you're starting to bring me 10 of them at once. So now I'm thinking, like, did you just take them out the back? Like how, like, what's going on? So if you don't want to get in trouble, I just wouldn't ask. Me, I'm very curious because if you don't know, you don't know. Like you can't get in trouble when you don't know. Like that, let somebody lie to you. All of these YouTubers on here talking about I flipped an iPhone 3 to iPhone 15 Pro Max, all and on my motorcycle. Like if they doing all of that, best believe they definitely are I don't even know what they're doing. I had somebody I was making 500 to 1,000 profit every time we met. Yep, sounds like one of them every week. But 2 days ago, he finally said how he was getting them. I blocked him, but I feel weird because I feel like I'm missing out. Don't block him, Dan. Don't block him, Dan. Dan, don't block him, Dan. Don't block your money now, Dan. Understand this: business is not emotional, right? But what you need to do, Dan, I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. What you need to do, right? You have text with them, right? If you got, should I stop doing business with them? Dan, no, keep a paper trail. That's all. So if he's on his way, you know what I mean. Make sure everything is through. Oh, they were stealing them. Oh, oh, oh. Hold on, I gotta take a drink. Like, Dan, are you talking about like they were just literally like taking them, or they were like using other people's accounts or something? Like, what type of steal we talking about, Dan? Like, are we talking about they were just taking them literally, or they was just like, okay, FedEx, okay, all right, okay. Now I keep it 100 with all y'all. You know what I mean? Like that's how I am. Whether you like it or you don't, I keep it 100. Dan, it's okay. And let me tell you why. So I have 3 UPS delivery drivers that come into my store. Okay. They're not in the uniform, but I know they're UPS delivery drivers because I asked them after they gave me a whole bunch of phones. I started to ask, like, yo, how you getting factory refurbished phones from different accounts all at once? And they told me, can you get in trouble for that? Let me ask you something, Dan. If I was to say, hey, I got these headphones, and I go to the pawn shop, and I'm stealing them out of Target, right? Yeah, I know, Dan. If you know, you know. Yes, I know. If I got them out of Target, right, and I stole them, I was a Target employee, I just stole them, and then I go to sell them to a pawn shop. What's the pawn shop going to ask me for? They're going to ask me for ID, and once I get in my ID, then they're going to take it, right? You got to think of your text and your paper trail in that manner. What I do personally is I write receipts. I personally write receipts. So when I buy phones, I had that little receipt book from the dollar store that I use with certain people. The reason is one, for my accountant, but two, now that's a business transaction. And I just brought the phone. And that's what it is, right? Like in my store, of course, we take IDs. So that's sort of kind of where we win. But if I was you, I wouldn't stop doing business. I would just start writing receipts. Be like, yeah, man, I just want to let you know how much money, you know what I mean? I'm giving you just for your own thing to give him one copy, you keep a copy. Because again, that will keep you more in a safe realm. But if I'm gonna be honest with you, none of this is safe regardless. So regardless, if you know, you feel me? That's why my name is Educated Hustler and not Educated Employee. That's why. Mhm. Because I know for a fact I'm not stupid, right? Like I remember one time I made a video on YouTube and my girl was like, "Yo, you're bold." I said, "What you mean?" She's like, "It was a video and I put the whole receipt from the guy that got the phone from another account, and I explained how he was doing it. I put the whole receipt in the thumbnail, and she was like, "You're bold. You're gonna get in trouble one day." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "Because like you like I didn't put the receipt with the information. All that was blanked out, but she was just talking about like that was bold, but it was like it's not. It's business." And that's my take on it. I don't think that there's nothing to worry about. To be honest, I don't care because I know for a fact that carriers do it, and I don't. I'm sick and tired of other corporations being able to do things, but just because we're physical soul entities, we can't do it. Get out of my face. You feel me? Like, nah. Like, once I saw that I could do certain things, I could do certain things with my business that I couldn't do if I didn't have a business. I started to understand, oh yeah, it's all a game to keep you down. Hold on, y'all. Store employee. 1 second. All right. So yeah, y'all. That's my take on that. Okay. Don't be scared. Just honestly watch yourself. You know. We'll do one more. One more. This right. This is a typical one. Okay. So okay. Even if they're bringing blacklisted and I collect electronic bill of sale from them with name, number, email, pictures of the phone, IMEI, and a signature. Oh, you got it. What, Dan, what are you talking about, Dan? Dan, come on, Dan. Dan, you take electronic bill of sale. You take IMEI, signature, pictures of phones, emails, all of that, bro. You Gucci. You good. You good. Yeah. That's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. Now, blacklisted. Are you? I'm not sure if you mean yeah, I would take blacklisted as long as I'm paying the blacklisted price. I'm not gonna pay this guy for devices and I know they're gonna blacklist it. I would just pay him blacklisted devices all the time. I would pay him the blacklisted price. But if you're doing that, you Gucci. You're Gucci. You good. This is a scam. Okay. I'm letting y'all know this. I just wanted to pick this one out so I can show y'all this is a scammer. Okay. So this guy right here has the iPhone 15 Pro Max, he says, okay, 256, iPhone 15 Pro Max, 256, Verizon, only not unlocked, brand new box, unopened, colors, natural titanium or black titanium, prices for one phone, Philly meetup only. Scammer. Now, let's and we meet in McDonald's. In McDonald's, that's perfect. In McDonald's, y'all meet in McDonald's, not outside McDonald's. In McDonald's, you know where I meet people? Dan, I meet people in ShopRite, Walmart's, Fresh Grocers, all my people in Florida and stuff, Publix, right? You want to know why? My new thing is I like to meet them right near the ATMs if they have them in there because the ATM is recording and the store is recording. And if the person is short on money, they can hit that ATM. So it's like it all I mean, if I'm short, I can hit the ATM. I'm thinking about if I'm selling electronics. But I do all of my meetups there. But yeah, you can meet it. Yeah, you good, bro. You good. You good. He doesn't do picture of ID and no, you don't need his license or none of that. As long as you got the information you got, you good. You don't because see, I'm gonna tell you something. You don't want to have his ID. So let's make this clear. You don't want to have a whole bunch of IDs in your phone. You're going to jail. Okay, I'm letting y'all know that. If you have a whole bunch of IDs in your phone, you're going to get locked up. Okay, because they're going to think that you're like doing some type of identity theft thing. So like if you're not a store or anything like that, don't do that part. Don't do the IDs. Just don't do that. Hey, officer. No, I just have these IDs because I sell phones. Do you mean that you have 200 IDs in your camera roll because you sell phones? Yes, sir. I sell phones, and I'm just trying to make sure. Put your hands behind your back, sir. And I would like to read you your Miranda rights before you say anything else. You know, and I'm cool. You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm good. This is a scammer. So because these are all new phones, all tabs are on there. Let me know something. How the heck this person selling me locked iPhone, Verizon's 15 Pro Maxes? That's why he's only selling for 800. That's why, and it looks like it's a she. This is somebody's girlfriend, and I guarantee you the guy that got these phones, his offer up is suspended. So what he did was they went into the store, used somebody else's account. He's right here. You just can't see him in the picture, but I'm guaranteeing you he's right here. He passed the phones over to her. He said, "Yo, babe, put these joints on offer up for me real quick. What you want to eat?" And then she sat there and put them all up, and also put the IMEIs there because they're not worried about anything but getting these devices sold. That is how it works. So, would I buy these? Absolutely. What you talking about? Absolutely would. You feel me? So absolutely would. And there's nothing wrong with that. So let's look at what this fine gentleman has. The Verizon iPhone 15 Pro Max. This is when I would use the price list. But it's what 256. I don't know what's up with my memory. All right. So I know for a fact that I can only do. All right. So 700 is my bottom. I can do 650. That's it. Each. That's it. That's it. Simple. That's it. Simple, y'all. If you guys want to get the prices, of course, go to Hustler. Talkme.com and go get your price list. All right, go get your price list. You know what I mean? Y'all see a guy, you feel me? About this, I'm about to start acting my age. I'm about to start dressing up in suits like I'm Scarface. You feel me? All right, don't feel like you get bad karma doing business with people like that. Okay. So let me ask you something. When you go to the dealership and you get a car and the salesman is finessing you out your money, right? He finessing you out your bread. He told you you're gonna get this warranty. They told you got I'm about to really start talking. You feel me? He told you gotta put what? Let's say 3,000 down to get the new car you want, right, Dan? He said that, right? I want you to picture me and you, Dan. We going into the car dealership. You like, yo, B, I'm about to go get a car. Pull up with me. I'm like, all right, bet. We pull up. You feel me? And this person is sitting there basically saying, hey, yeah, Dan, you got to put down 3K. Did you know, Dan, that you don't have to put down 3K? Because guess what, Dan? The 3K is going directly to the dealership. It's not going to the bank or whatever financial institution you're using. That's a scam. But hold on. I'm gonna keep going. Dan. Did you know that when you go ahead and you buy or you pay your electric bill, they're completely overcharging you? That's a scam. It's so many. When you go into all of these different stores and they're overcharging you, it's a scam. Okay. Do you think that they feel like they're going to have bad karma? Any of them? No, because it's business. See, as long as you're doing good business in good faith, I don't believe any karma is going to come. I think that if you were the person scamming or not doing everything that you're doing, taking all of that information, yes, I would be worried about bad karma. But what you're doing is, Dan, if you are subconsciously feeling a certain type of way, stop asking questions. You got your answer. Now and just literally buy the phone and that's it, right? Like I wouldn't block the person because again, it's business. They're going to have the karma, not you. That's like somebody robbing a bank and then everybody that those robbers paid, whether it's a service, airplane tickets, wherever they wanted to go. All those people that took that money should be getting bad karma. And then you might say, well, Brandon, they didn't know. See, here's the thing. I think that we overthink the fact of knowing. I'd rather know than not. I'd rather know than not, because then I know how close to keep you and how far to make you. Okay. So that is my insight on that, guys. That is exactly how I would get that handled. And I vividly do see everybody here that follows these best practices being successful. You got any questions? Definitely hit me up. You guys already know, man, I'm here. My Discord link is below. I'm getting back active on that. I'm completely zoned back in. Everything is good on my end now. And I have vlogs coming. You know, I drop vlogs on Educated Hustler. But I also have more educational videos coming on Hustler Taught Me. So shout out to both channels. We're live on both channels. If you're not subscribed, man, please subscribe. You feel me? Like, subscribe to your boy. Subscribe to your boy. Okay. So of course, you know, Educated Hustler. That's my main channel. But then we also have Hustler Taught Me. Please subscribe to both. Educational content will be on Hustler Hustler Taught Me, and all of my blogs and my entrepreneur back life, or I guess behind the scenes, is going to be on Educated Hustler. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Dan, I got you. I'm about to answer your question. Last question. How long have you been doing business with people like that and never had legal trouble? Since 2014. Since 2014. I've never had any trouble ever in my life. Ever. I've never even thought about having any trouble, because all I do is my job. That's it. I don't hurt people. And that's not to say I never have hurt people, because I have hurt people. But if I've hurt people, I always try to do my best to fix it. Like, we're not about to make it seem like we all angels, right? We are not angels, especially in business. There's been times I didn't realize, and I sold somebody a broken charger or a broken drone or something. Maybe I didn't even sell it. Maybe it was one of the reps, but still, it came from me, and I had to make it right. There's been times where packages got stolen, shipments were not sent. Shipments were not delivered, or it wasn't sent because the customers asked me, well, "Where's my package?" Gave them a refund. It's like that simple, bro. It's just we all just got to make sure we do business in good faith. And you don't even collect. Yes, yeah. I collect bill of sale. Yes. I do. I gotta collect that, because if I don't collect that, I can't. I don't have that for my accountant. But a lot of people don't collect bill of sale. They don't. A lot of people don't do that, and that is true. That's a good point, Dan. We have to start collecting bill of sale. That's very important. You're right. That's a really good point, Dan. Because that's where I think the good business comes. You know what I mean? Is making sure you're collecting that. If you're not collecting that, you're putting yourself in a position to actually get your head behind in trouble. For real. With ID, no. Only in the store. But I don't have any. I don't take people's IDs. And and in the kids' terms, that's federal, right? And what I mean by that is, if I was to take somebody's ID and we're on the street, it's so risky for me to ask somebody for their ID. Yo, bro, what's up, man? What's good, bro? How you? Can I have your ID before I before I give you the money? Dan, in Philly, you know how they gonna look at me? Dan, let me get close to the kid. Dan. Now I want you to picture me asking somebody for their ID, Dan, in Philadelphia. Okay. I want you to look up Kensington, okay? Look that up. Picture me asking somebody for that. Then they gonna look at me. They gonna tell the whole hood, yo, don't mess with this guy, right? So, like, no, I don't ask for the ID. only in a store location, because that sort of kind of gives that environment where it's like, oh, well, it's a store. They're not going to do that with my information. But that, for God forbid, you take somebody's ID and then their identity gets stolen, they're going to come for your butt. You feel me? I just take information. I just take information. And I also ask questions. I ask questions. Hey, man, these phones are completely good for me to buy. Yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Like, I ask questions, bro, and I just like, if anything ever happened, boom, pull up the text. That's it. That's it. I don't belong in nobody's jail. You feel me? So I respect all the questions, Dan. Dan, you actually helped me, man. Look, Dan, thank you so much, man. It's certain people I ask from. Are you talking about IDs, Dan? You ask IDs from people? Where are you from, Dan? Dan, you can't be in a dangerous part of the USA asking for IDs. You probably good. You probably in a nice place. You probably in a nicer place, bro. Like I'm in a place where I live in the suburbs, but I do business in the hood. That's just what, because I can do business in the hood and I can do business in the suburbs. I can talk really proper. I can present myself very well. And I can also present myself very well in the hood. Like, you got some people that wear suits all day. If I walked into the hood wearing a suit, the drug dealers are not going to ask me for phones. And I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of people that I've helped turn their lives around. You know what I mean? Like, there's people that were on the street selling dope and stuff and met me. I asked him, like, yo, bro, you know that's not cool. Like, what do you really want to do? Oh, and like this recently happened. Oh, I want to be a photographer. So why you not being a photographer? Like, why are you out here doing this? And then the person would say, well, I got kids and I got bills. I got this, that, and the third. I lie. I put this on everything I love. I said, okay. I said, that's what's up, bro. Like, keep grinding. Walked away. Right? So when I walked away, Chicago was crazy. Do your homework on Chicago. That's what's up, Dan. So I walked away from him. I went to the Best Buy. I brought him a camera. I did not give him the camera. So what I did was, the next day I saw him, because he had cell phone service through me, because I sell cell phone service in one of my stores, right? So, boom. Teach me how to word it, and then type in how do you word it? How do you word asking somebody for their ID? So, long story short, I ended up giving him a camera after I see that he actually isn't selling dope or recruiting young kids to sell dope. And now he is a photographer. He's making good videos. I won't say great, because I ain't no liar. He's making good videos, but he can always get better. But he's learning, and he's doing it on TikTok. And I don't see him on the streets no more. Now, I'm not saying I'm the reason he got up the streets, but it's like, bro, sometimes when we meet these people and you have a purpose, like how I feel like I got a purpose to help and motivate, it works out in the best, you know? So long story short, you buy all phones. Doesn't matter how they're getting them. Yeah, I buy phones. You know what I mean? I don't really ask too many questions about where they're getting them unless it's too much. Unless it's a fraud alert. That's like asking T-Mobile or Verizon, hey, so you let any person get prepaid? They're gonna say absolutely. I let any person get prepaid as long as I get my bread. I don't even need the information. I'm telling you, Dan, you good. You good, bro. But these are great questions. I'm really interested in how you word how to ask somebody off the street for their ID to their home. You know what I mean? To all of that. I just want to know, Dan, how are you asking people, hey, can I have your ID with your photo identification, your photo on there, like your face, your address to your house, date of birth, everything? How are you asking them for this? Please. I just want to know. Because you just give your ID to anybody on the street, they might pop up at your crib. I'm cool. I'm good off that. You know what I mean? I won't be giving nobody my ID off the street. Mm-mm. No. No. I went to the court. I put on Instagram, I was going to the court. I told people to pull up. A lot of people viewed it, and my car got robbed. I didn't get no ID, but certain ways you got to move. And Dan, I can't move like that, bro. I can't unless you show me how you do that. But I can't do it like that, Dan. So Dan is going to let us know how to do that because I don't know how to do it. And I will never lie to y'all. I will let y'all know ASAP Rocky if I don't know how to do something. But yeah, make sure you guys follow my YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok. All that stuff is below, man. We getting it. I swear to goodness on everything I love. We finna get active. I promise y'all, we about to get active. Like, I'm just excited. We about to get active. We about to drop the content. My gaming channel is coming. I'm making my first gaming video today. And I'm not making no gaming channel on some like I'm gonna just sit there and play games. It's like a live stream channel where I'm just gonna be live and I'll probably play games on there, do reactions, all of that. So I'll be working on that today. I have Hustler Taught Me on YouTube. I got Educated Hustler on YouTube. And now I'm going to make a live stream YouTube. All right. Facebook ad. All right. So Dan gave it to us. And then we're gonna get off. So Facebook ads is easy. When it comes to making sure the device is erased, FB ads, it's easy. Oh, are you saying you do it through Facebook ads? Okay, let me read this. When you come, just make sure the device can be erased and bring a valid ID for bill of sale. That's it. So Dan uses the ID to import it to the electronic bill of sale. I get you. Dan, you taught me something. You're right. Because technically, if I need all the information, I can ask you for your ID and get all your information from your ID instead of just having you tell it to me. And I'm already setting that expectation before we meet. Dan. Shout out to Dan. That's it. Shout out to Dan. That's my guy. Dan the man. That's it. Dan, that's your name. Dan the man. Your name is Dan the man. That's it. Dan the man. That's my guy. Dan, I like it. Sounds great. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna let you know how to go, Dan. Thank you for tapping in. I'm going live every single day, 10 a.m. Every single day, 10 a.m. Expect videos, clips, everything. I'm telling y'all right now, we're going crazy. I appreciate you, Dan, for that lesson. Dan taught me something on my own live stream. Pull up. Don't be scared to talk. A lot of people that watch this scared to talk, scared to do all of that, scared to like because y'all don't like me. I don't know what it is. Like the video if you like it, dislike it if you dislike it. Follow, you know what I mean? Subscribe, help your boy get to 10K. I appreciate you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys are being safe, loving yourself, and also making money work for you. I'll talk to you guys. See you at the top because it's too crowded at the bottom. Hey.